Our previous video was an announcement video for the tournament Clean Slate, which was to be held in New Delhi on the 31st of Jan 2021. Now, the response that the video got in the form of comments from people, from you guys, it just gave us a sign that there's lack of a specific knowledge about our tournaments and how we do tournaments that we are here to impart to you guys. This is Blader ZX from Indian Beyblade Association once again, and now I'm here to tell you how are IBA tournaments held in India. The number one misconception amongst most people is that they think that we, the IBA officials, are the ones who literally travel to other places to hold tournaments. And because IBA was founded in Delhi itself, we do tournaments only in Delhi, and then people call us DBA. That is not at all true. IBA doesn't directly go to other states or go to places and hold its tournaments. That's not what it does. All it does is just affiliate those tournaments. The person who does directly host an IBA tournament anywhere is that person who stands up on his own and volunteers to IBA to take responsibility of the tournaments to be held in his or her area. These people who take responsibility, these hosts, are the ones who make tournaments possible in their areas, in their states. Now, let me give you all an example. So, for example, most of you were concerned about IBA tournaments being only in Delhi or sometimes in Mumbai or Kolkata and nowhere else. That's not because IBA doesn't do tournaments in those places and only gives preference to these states. It's not like that. It is because these states, especially Delhi, have their own active hosts, which means that people from these places stood up and volunteered to IBA to host tournaments, and that's why those places are having tournaments. And coming to Delhi, because some people were referring to IBA as DBA, Delhi Beyblade Association. So let me tell you guys that Delhi has most of IBA's tournaments. Yes, you guys are right, Delhi has most of IBA's tournaments, and that is because Delhi has more than one Beyblade tournament hosts. Now, Yoga Instinct is an active host in Delhi. Yoga Instinct is the one who founded IBA as well. So he is an organizer as well. And apart from him, there are other organizers in Delhi as well. For example, I as Blader ZX, I am an organizer as well. I just don't get time to host tournaments. I'm inactive. But when I'll be able to do it, then I would do it, which means that Delhi would get another active host and there'll be more tournaments from my side. Are you guys getting my point? You know guys, out of the entire India, only 5 states and UTs have their own organizers. And these are namely New Delhi, Mumbai, Bihar, Kolkata and Tripura. These are the only 5 parts of India which have their own organizers, and that's why these places are the only ones who have experienced Beyblade tournaments. These hosts are officially known as organizers, which means the person who organizes a tournament. So now when you guys know all this, the question arises how to become an organizer to hold tournaments or host tournaments in your area as well. Do you guys know how a person gets selected for a job? That person has to give an exam which is related to that job, which tests if they are fit for the job or not. And if that person performs well in that exam, then that person gets the job. Now why does the person has to give an exam? He has to give an exam because every job requires some specific capabilities and responsibilities. And so is it with hosting Beyblade tournaments. So if you want to be an organizer for IBA tournaments, you need to give a quiz. A quiz that is related to everything that is involved in hosting a tournament. This quiz you can find on our main site, and a link to that quiz is also provided in the description down below. This quiz would contain MCQs, multiple choice questions, and then it would also contain some situational questions which would test that how you would handle stuff under different kinds of situations when you are hosting a tournament. Now once you're done with this quiz and you submit the answers, these answers will go to the IBA moderators, and some moderators of IBA will evaluate and check your answers, and if you pass that quiz, then we'll move ahead. This quiz keeps being updated time and again, and we keep on making some changes in this quiz according to the current situations or time going on. And I, as Blader ZX, am assuring you that the quiz is not that hard. You just need to apply some common sense and brain into it, and if you really are capable of hosting a tournament, then you would crack it, and I believe that anyone can crack it. So try it out, and if you pass the test, then well and good, congratulations, and if you do not pass the test, then you can try again after 2 months. Now, apart from the quiz, there's another thing that you need to make sure of, and it's as important as the quiz. It is that you should also make sure that the place where you live has enough bladers to have a tournament with. Because suppose you have become an IBA organizer, you gave the test and you were successful in it, and now you are ready to host a tournament. But then you find out that there isn't a sufficient number of bladers available in your area to host a tournament. And not just this, other things can happen as well. For example, people might not be ready to pay the entry fees for any IBA tournament. That is the major problem. And other than that, people might not be having any sufficient or original base, and you might not be having enough to lend them, and that would be a problem as well. Once you've made sure that everything's okay in your area, like the people are ready, the people are willing, and they know what to do, and they can actually come, and you have given the organizer's quiz and you have actually passed as well, everything has been done, then you are automatically like, then it's just a small road after that, because then you will just be given some instructions as to how to host a tournament, the rule books and stuff, and then you are ready to go. So that was basically how one can become an organizer for IBA and host their tournaments wherever they can. All the existing organizers that we are having in IBA, all of them, each and every one of them had to go through the same process to become an organizer and host tournaments in their area. So folks, that's gonna be it for this video. We really hope that we've cleared all the doubts and all the misconceptions about IBA's tournaments. All those people who were thinking that it's we who should travel to places and host tournaments, and we are not doing that and only doing it in Delhi. I hope you guys are now clear that it's the organizers who host tournaments for IBA and not really the whole organization. So Delhi and Mumbai, mostly Delhi, we have tournaments because there are active organizers in these places, and your places like Kanpur ho gaya, Punjab, you guys don't have tournaments because your state does not have an active IBA tournament organizer. Now, our advice to you would be to apply for the organizer's quiz, because if you pass, which you most certainly will if you apply your brains to it, if you do it, then you will be able to host tournaments in your place as well. Imagine your state would start having tournaments, and as much as you can keep, you can do it. So that's it guys, we'll be ending today's video as well. Thank you guys for watching, and we hope that you are clean and clear about the topic. Bladers DX from Indian Beyblade Association signing out.